Welcome to this TechTool Pro demonstration of the Check Computer test. Using TechTool Pro often starts with running Check Computer as part of a preventative maintenance program. Running this test once or twice a month may identify problems developing in the background that may not be apparent when operating your Mac. When you find issues early, it's best to correct them before they become so severe it results in data loss or that you cannot correct them at all. When you start TechTool Pro, you'll see the main configuration screen, which displays your Mac with the model and the date of manufacture. Drive icons for each drive attached to your Mac are also displayed, and hovering the cursor over a drive icon reveals the drive identifier, connection type, and volumes on the drive. Check Computer will queue up 6 diagnostics tests to run on all available drives and volumes. Feedback from the test is displayed on the stage as the tests are run. The memory test will exercise and test the available free RAM in your Mac. The surface scan will check for physical bad blocks on your drives. The smart check will test the built-in hard drive smart parameters. Volume structures checks attached Macintosh formatted volumes for directory corruption, and this test needs to run off an eDrive or TechTool Pro DVD because the main startup volume needs to be unmounted in order to test. Video memory will also be checked, and file structures, which looks for file type corruption on your Mac. Some of the individual tests run quickly. Others, such as the surface scan, which looks at every block on a drive, or the file structures test, which looks at many different file types for corruption, take a bit more time, especially when you're testing multiple drives. Check Computer can run in the background while you work. However, it may be more convenient to fire up before leaving your Mac idle for a while, say if you're heading out to lunch or something like that. And you can always see the progress of your test and what's left to complete in the main screen. Or if you use the third-party software Growl, which is supported by TechTool Pro, you can be notified when each test is completed too. So the first to run, the 1-minute memory test, is counting down through 6 different test patterns to exercise the RAM on this Mac. We'll speed it up a bit. Next, the video memory test will run. And now the smart check will run. It runs very quickly. When file structures test runs, it may check thousands of files against their file types, and you can see the progress of the test as each file is checked. When files are found that are not conforming to their specs, the path and file name is noted in the right side pane. And we can see here that we have found some files that are either damaged or corrupt. After the test is completed, we can select any of the files in an attempt to open them, or they can be moved to a temporary location to restore later from a valid source. The last test is the surface scan. In the surface scan, you can see the total number of blocks on your drive and the progress of the test, with an estimate of the time needed to complete the test. If a bad block is encountered, it will be noted in the right side window, and if a file resides in the area of a bad block, the file name will also be noted. Your drive's controller automatically tries to map out bad blocks as they're encountered, unless the bad block is in a critical area that cannot be mapped out at the moment, or the bad block table is already full. If this occurs, TechTool Pro will report the bad block, and you will ultimately need to do a reinitialization of the drive using Apple's disk utility. Then the bad blocks can be mapped out when the drive is reinitialized. If you discover new bad blocks when running a surface scan after a reinitialization, the drive is probably failing and you should consider replacing it. If a low-level reinitialization fails, this indicates the drive is faulty and needs to be replaced. Let's shorten up our surface scan test to get to our results. Okay, let's review the results of our Check Computer tests. You can see the overall test results in this table here. First, the memory test is passed, so we didn't identify any defects in the internal RAM on this Mac. And the onboard video RAM passed too. The Smart Check display shows all the smart parameters tested on this internal hard drive passed as well, so the drive is operating as it should. In our results, the surface scan checked over 488 million blocks on this hard drive, and no bad blocks were found. But blocks where data was previously stored can go bad, so it's important to run the surface scan on a regular basis. The file structures test validated over 24,000 files and found 28 files didn't fit their specs correctly and are likely corrupt. The problem with the file, the path, and the file name are noted here. And you can attempt to open the file by clicking the button on the upper right. However, it's unlikely damaged or corrupt files will open at all. At the end of your test, you can select Reports here to view all the operations that were run on your Mac. There's numerous ways to sort your results, and you can also click through the individual test results to learn more. And those are the tests the TechTool Pro runs for its computer check operation. Again, it's important to be in the habit of running this suite of tests periodically, say once or twice a month, as part of your preventative maintenance program to keep your Mac running at top performance every day. And that's it for now. Thanks for viewing.